So what's going on, guys? It's Jamie, it's speakboxing. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel before you click onto any of the videos. Also comment below in the comment section if you guys have any opinions on what I'm saying in any of the videos. Like always, it's appreciated if you guys could drop me a quick sub to my channel. So I said to myself, I wasn't going to talk about this story. I said to myself, James, it's a load of bollocks, don't even bother talking about it on the channel. But I thought to myself, you know what, I'll have a little bit of a rant about it. And that was Oscar De La Hoya saying that he'd come out of his 9-year retirement to fight Conor McGregor, saying that he'll knock him out in 2 rounds and he'll come back for that fight. And so why? What makes me laugh though is it just makes Oscar De La Hoya look like a hypocrite, because he was the one slagging the fight off for months. He was the one clowning it. He was the one saying, oh, it's a joke fight, come watch a real fight, come watch Canelo and Golovkin, that fight's a joke, you're stupid if you watch that fight. Was this just a tactic from him to sell the Golovkin and Canelo fight? But in the back of his mind he was thinking, you know what, these guys are doing smart business, maybe when all the dust settles I can get involved in it, you know what I mean? Because now he's calling out Conor McGregor after he clowned Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather for months and months, so it just makes him look like an hypocrite. But I'd be favouring Oscar De La Hoya to win. Max Kellerman has recently came out and said he's shocked that people are favouring Conor McGregor, but it's like Oscar De La Hoya is 44 years old and he just looks like a middle-aged man now, you know what I mean? Oscar De La Hoya, like Floyd Mayweather's in his 40s, but this was a guy who's always in tremendous shape. This is a guy, even at 40, 41 years old, only weighs a few pounds over what he fights at. Whereas Oscar De La Hoya, like, he just looks like a middle-aged man now. And the last time when he fought was against Pacquiao. What was it, 2007, 2008, that was when it was. And he was shot to pieces in that fight. He was absolutely shot to pieces. He was over the hill before that. When he fought Floyd, he was over the hill. You know what I mean? Like, Oscar De La Hoya, in my opinion, started to slide after the first Shane Mosley fight. And when was that? Was it 19? No, it was 2000 when he lost to Shane Mosley the first time around. Like, yeah, that's when he started to slide, in my opinion. Yeah, he had a good victory over Vargas and stuff like that, but then he moved up to middleweight and he had that questionable decision over Felix Sturm, and then he lost to Bernard Hopkins. He got knocked out in that fight with a body shot, and then he fought a couple of other guys and then lost to Floyd, and then eventually lost to Pacquiao and retired. But Oscar De La Hoya in his prime, very, very good fighter. This was a guy who was a very intelligent fighter, very technically proficient. He controlled the centre of the ring very well. He was very good at blocking and rolling the punches, and he was a good counter puncher. Very, very good hand speed. Like, that was a very big attribute of Oscar De La Hoya in his prime, was his fast hands, and he was also very good at feinting and stuff like that. Like, Oscar De La Hoya in his prime was seen as a very complete fighter. But then, as he got older and he started to move up the weights, he just got more and more shot worn, and he started to get himself into more scraps, you know what I mean? Like, the second Mosley fight, that was a scrap. The fight with Vargas, that was a scrap as well. The Hopkins fight, he took a lot of punishment. The Stern fight, he took a lot of punishment. The Pacquiao fight, he definitely took a lot of punishment. The Mayweather fight, he tried to make that a dog fight, and that was a very close fight because he tried to drown Floyd Mayweather in there, Oscar De La Hoya. That was Oscar De La Hoya's style as well. Like, he just try and drown you with his pressure. Like, you'd either sink or drown. No, you'd either swim or drown against Oscar De La Hoya in many of his fights, because he set a very high tempo, especially early on. But the thing with him in fights was that he always faded. Especially later on in his career, he faded down the stretch, and that cost him the fight against Mayweather. Like, he just faded in that fight, and he faded in a lot of his fight. Like, he just didn't have the stamina really for 12 rounds, Oscar De La Hoya, and it was something he never really had. Even in his prime, he seemed to struggle a little bit. Like, in the Trinidad fight and stuff like that, he struggled late on, because early on in the fight he set a very high pace and he couldn't really sustain it for 12 rounds, Oscar De La Hoya. Don't get me wrong, he went 12 rounds many times in his career, but just down the stretch he always seemed to fade a little bit. But Conor McGregor, like, he isn't really a massive puncher. Like, Oscar De La Hoya had a granite chin. I don't think Conor McGregor is going to have any power to really hurt Oscar De La Hoya in a fight, because Oscar De La Hoya has a granite chin. He's always had a very good chin. took a lot of punishment by a lot of big punches over the years and took it soundly. So I don't see Conor McGregor being able to hurt him. Like I don't even know why I'm talking about this fight, because hopefully it doesn't happen. Like I know people are saying, "Oh, it's just a load of bollocks. Don't listen to it." But you got to look at it like this. That's what people said about Mayweather and McGregor, because it started off with Conor McGregor basically calling out Floyd, saying he was the king of Vegas now, and if Floyd had a problem with that, then come and see him. And then people started talking about the fight. Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather had a few back and forths on social media and on interviews, and then people start posting on social media like fantasy matchup Mayweather McGregor, who wins, and then people start debating, and then more people start debating, and then the fight becomes reality, because the fight soon got interest from all these people debating about it, that they thought, you know what, we can make this fight and we can earn a lot of money because people are going to watch it. We got Mayweather, probably the best boxer of his generation, and then you've got Conor McGregor, who is very popular in popular culture nowadays. Like, this is a guy who's very popular in sport around the world. This is a guy who many people know, just a very popular guy and a very popular fighter. So that's what made that fight. And him and Oscar De La Hoya, it could be decent. it could it could be fun, you know what I mean? But you just don't want to really watch it, do you? Like, at the same time, you think, like, why? You're just lying in the pockets, because what does anyone gain from it? Just apart from millions and millions of pounds that we're gonna have to pay to watch the circus. And like I said, it just makes Oscar De La Hoya look like a big hypocrite. And how can he not be a hypocrite? Because he's the one saying that this fight was a joke. Well, the Mayweather McGregor fight was a joke, and that people are stupid for watching it, or it's not for real boxing fans and all this shit. And now he's the one saying, "Oh, I'll get in the ring and fight him and knock him out in 2 rounds," because he saw the dollars and he's thought to himself, you know what? I like a dollar bill, so maybe I'll fight Conor McGregor. Like, it's just a money grab. And Conor McGregor, if the money's on the table, he's going to take it, because he's thinking to himself, if I can make another £100 million to fight Oscar De La Hoya, then why not? Like, Conor McGregor just wants to make moolah right now, because this guy is flying in terms of how popular he is. So he's trying to make as much money as he can. So of course he'll take the fight, but hopefully it all dies down and it's just laughed off and stuff like that. And hopefully Oscar De La Hoya just goes back to getting stuck into his promoting work and stuff like that, and let Conor McGregor go back to the UFC and fight in MMA fights against the contenders over there, because he is still a champion in the UFC, and we all just, you know, laugh it off, and we can all live happily ever after without having to watch that fight and pay for it, you know what I mean? But it is what it is at the end of the day. Things like this happen in the world, and if it happens, then people are still going to watch it. I'd probably still watch it, but I don't know why I have to. I don't know why it has to be made anyway, but it is what it is. JM, speedboxing.